Money Ape was sitting on the couch. Again, it was a Tuesday. 2 in the afternoon. He had a bag of chips balanced on his belly, a fan blowing warm air at his face, and absolutely zero plans to move. His phone was charging in the corner. His shoes were still on from when he came home 3 hours ago and just didn't take them off. He wasn't sad. He wasn't lazy exactly. He was just deeply, professionally committed to doing nothing. And here's the wild part. While Money Ape sat there, mouth slightly open, chips crumbling onto his chest, money was flowing into his account. Not a lot, but some, quietly, like a tap left running in another room. And by the time he finally got up to use the bathroom, he had made more than some people make in 2 hours of actual work. Now, before you close this video thinking, yeah, right, stick with me, because this isn't a fantasy. This is something real, something backed by brain science, and something Money Ape had to learn the very, very hard way. And as always, he's going to take the embarrassing route so you don't have to. Money Ape used to be what scientists call a golden banana chaser. And look, there's no shame in this because almost every single one of us starts here. A golden banana is that quick, bright, shiny reward your brain absolutely loses its mind over. You see money coming in fast, your brain squirts out dopamine like a broken garden hose, and suddenly you're hooked. You want more of that feeling. You want it again. Right now. Not later. Now. This is not a character flaw. This is literally how your brain was built. Tens of thousands of years ago, your ancestors needed to grab food when it was right in front of them because there was no guarantee of food tomorrow. So your brain evolved to scream, "Get the thing now," whenever a reward appeared. Fast money feels like that. It feels urgent. It feels exciting. It feels alive in a way that slow, boring, steady money simply does not. And so Money Ape, like most apes, spent his early years chasing golden bananas. He took on extra shifts. He picked up side gigs. He drove for apps at 11 at night, even though he could barely keep his eyes open. He hustled hard, sweated plenty, and at the end of every month, he counted his bananas and felt proud. He was working. He was earning. He was doing the thing, but here's what nobody told Money Ape, and it's the thing that changes everything. There are 2 kinds of money in this world. There is the money you work for, and there is the money that works for you. Now, every financial advisor and their grandmother has said some version of this sentence. But the reason it never actually lands, the reason people hear it and nod and then go right back to chasing golden bananas, is because nobody explains what is actually happening inside your brain when you choose one over the other. So let's go there. When you work for money, you are essentially renting your time. You show up, you perform, you get paid, you stop performing, the payment stops. Your brain gets a dopamine hit each payday. It feels great. But your brain also gets used to that cycle, and it starts demanding you maintain it. Work more to earn more. Run faster to stay in place. The treadmill gets faster without you noticing. And one day you look around and realize you've been running for 15 years and you're still in the same spot. When money works for you, the mechanism is totally different. Your brain doesn't get the big bright spike of dopamine. It gets something quieter, something steadier. Neuroscientists call this the difference between phasic dopamine and tonic dopamine. Phasic is the big exciting burst. Tonic is the low, consistent hum that keeps you feeling stable, capable, and here's the important word, free. Most people spend their whole lives chasing phasic. The apes who build real wealth learn to build tonic. Money Ape did not understand this distinction for an embarrassingly long time. But the day he finally got it, sitting in a parking lot eating a gas station sandwich, something clicked in his small but enthusiastic brain. Money Ape calls passive income silent golden bananas. Here's why. Regular golden bananas are loud. They come with effort and noise and sweat and alarm clocks and angry customers and traffic and sore feet. You know exactly when they arrive because you were there making them happen. Silent golden bananas are different. They grow while you sleep. They ripen while you're watching television. They pile up in the corner while you're at your kid's soccer game or having a long shower or, in Money Ape's case, lying on the couch with chips on his chest on a Tuesday afternoon. You don't hear them arrive. You just check your account later and go, oh, there are more bananas in here than before. And the thing is, your brain still produces dopamine when this happens. Maybe not the huge crazy spike, but a warm, steady glow that over time actually rewires how you think about money. You start to see money not as something you trade your hours for, but as something that can move on its own, Like a river you've learned to redirect toward yourself. Now, how does an average, slightly couch-loving ape actually build these silent golden bananas? Money Ape tried 4 main approaches. Some worked beautifully. Some worked after a painful learning curve, and one almost made him quit entirely. He's going to tell you all of them. The first approach Money Ape tried was dividend investing. And before your eyes glaze over, just stay with him for 30 more seconds. Imagine you have a mango tree. If you own the mango tree, you don't have to go hunt for mangoes. The mangoes just appear, on schedule, because that's what mango trees do. Dividend stocks work exactly like that. You buy a small piece of a company, sometimes very small, sometimes just a few dollars worth, and that company, on a regular schedule, sends you a portion of its profits, just for owning it. You don't show up. You don't clock in. You just own the thing, and the thing pays you. Money Ape started small, embarrassingly small. He bought $15 worth of a dividend stock. His first payment was 41 cents. He screenshotted it. He sent it to his cousin with 3 exclamation points. His cousin did not respond. But Money Ape didn't care, because that 41 cents didn't cost him any time. It cost him $15 that he used to spend on coffee he didn't even finish. And he understood in that moment that this wasn't about 41 cents. It was about what 41 cents becomes if you add to it every month for 10 years and let it compound. Compound interest is, without exaggeration, the most powerful force in personal finance. Einstein may or may not have said it was the 8th wonder of the world. Nobody's totally sure he said that, but it doesn't matter who said it, because it's true. When your money earns returns, and then those returns earn returns, and then those returns earn returns, the math starts doing things that feel almost illegal. It feels like the universe is on your side, quietly multiplying your effort while you go live your life. The second approach was one Money Ape stumbled into by accident, which is honestly his favorite kind of lesson. He had a small apartment. He went away for a weekend to visit family. His friend mentioned that people rent out their places when they travel. Money Ape, deeply skeptical and slightly nervous about strangers touching his things, listed his apartment for 2 nights just to see what would happen. He made enough money to cover his gas and his dinner and come home with extra. His apartment did the work. He did not. Now, renting property at a large scale requires capital that most people don't have. But the core idea, using what you already have to generate income while you're using it for something else or not using it at all, is available to almost everyone in some form. A spare room, a parking space, a camera you're not using, equipment that sits idle, a car you park for 12 hours a day. There are platforms and marketplaces for almost all of these now. Money Ape isn't saying you'll retire from renting your parking spot. He's saying the mindset matters. You have more assets than you think, and assets can work. The third approach made Money Ape want to throw his laptop out the window at least 4 times. So naturally, it's the one he recommends most enthusiastically: digital products. Things you make once and sell forever. Money Ape, after many years of learning things the hard way, sat down one weekend and made a simple guide. Just a document, 20 pages, something he wished existed when he was starting out. It wasn't fancy. The formatting was not winning any awards. But he put it out there, and people bought it. Not thousands of people, not at first, but some people, and every time someone bought it, Money Ape received money for work he had done on a Saturday 2 years before. The key psychological concept here is something called decoupled income that is no longer tied to the specific moment you performed the labor. A song earns royalties years after the musician recorded it. A book earns money years after the author wrote it. A digital template, a course, a guide, a piece of software. All of these can earn money while the creator is asleep on vacation, or lying on a couch watching the ceiling fan spin and thinking about absolutely nothing. Your brain, by the way, finds this deeply uncomfortable at first, because your brain has been trained to believe that money requires present, visible effort. When money arrives without current effort, it feels almost wrong, suspicious, like you missed something. This discomfort is not wisdom. It's just old wiring that was built for a world that no longer exists. The apes who get comfortable with decoupled income are the ones who eventually stop running on the treadmill. Now here is the part that Money Ape wishes someone had slapped him in the face with earlier, because it would have saved him approximately 3 years of confusion. None of this works without the first, boring, unglamorous phase. Silent golden bananas do not appear from nowhere. You have to plant the trees first. And planting trees is not exciting. It doesn't spike your dopamine. It doesn't make for a good story at dinner. You just dig and water and wait and dig some more, and nothing looks like it's happening. And then one day you walk outside, and there are trees everywhere and fruit on every branch, and you cannot remember exactly when it all happened because it happened quietly. Gradually, the way all real things grow. This is the phase most people quit. They do the work for a few months, they see small results. Their brain compares those small results to the big dopamine rush of an immediate paycheck, decides it's not worth it, and pulls them back to the treadmill. And this is not weakness. This is neuroscience. Your brain's reward system is genuinely biologically biased toward immediate returns over delayed ones. Researchers call this hyperbolic discounting. We discount the value of future rewards in a very steep, very irrational way. $1 today feels worth more than $5 next year, even when we know mathematically it shouldn't. The hack, and Money Ape uses the word hack loosely here, is to find small ways to celebrate the planting, not just the harvest. Screenshot that 41-cent dividend. Write down the month you made your first passive dollar. Put it on the fridge. Tell your cousin who won't respond. Do whatever makes the invisible progress feel real to your brain, because your brain needs that signal to keep going. Here is where Money Ape brings it all together. And he wants you to really sit with this. Maybe pause the video. Maybe even close your eyes after he says it. You will spend roughly 90,000 hours of your life working. 90,000 hours. That is not a number your brain can fully process because it's too large. So let Money Ape make it smaller. That's about 45 years, from the time most people start working to the time they stop. 45 years of trading your time, your energy, your Tuesday afternoons for money that stops arriving the moment you stop showing up. Now imagine if even a portion of that effort, not all of it, just some of it was redirected not into more hours of work, but into building things that earn without you. Trees, not treadmills. Rivers, not buckets. Silent golden bananas, not louder and louder golden banana chasing until your legs give out. The apes who figured this out didn't work less. Not at first. They worked the same amount, maybe more. But they pointed some of that work in a different direction. They built while they earned. They planted while they ran. And slowly, gradually, with a lot of patience and a few moments of wanting to throw laptops out of windows, the silent income grew until it started to matter. Until it started to sound like something. Like a tap running in another room that you suddenly realize has been running for years and has filled up a very large, very useful tank. Money Ape is still on his couch sometimes. Still has chips on his chest. Still has his shoes on indoors, which his mother would be horrified by. But the money doesn't stop when he stops. The trees are still growing. The river is still moving. And he checks his account and sees a number that is slightly bigger than it was yesterday, not because he worked yesterday, but because he planted something the year before. And now, here's the question he wants to leave with you. Not as a challenge, not as pressure, just as something honest to sit with. Which bananas are you chasing? Are you chasing the loud ones, the bright ones, the ones that spike your brain and feel good right now, but disappear the moment you stop running? Or are you ready, maybe not today, maybe just a tiny bit starting today, to plant a few silent ones? To do the boring, invisible, unexciting work of building something that grows while you live your life? Neither answer makes you a bad ape. Money Ape chased loud bananas for years and he turned out mostly fine and occasionally hilarious. But he knows with everything in his moderately sized brain that the silent ones are the ones that eventually set you free. So if this video helped you see money a little differently today, if the river made sense, or the mango tree clicked, or the 41 cents felt somehow important, then go find one small silent banana to plant this week. Just one, a stalk, a page of something you know, a spare thing you could rent. One seed, and then go lie on your couch. You've earned it.